Welcome everyone to the Learning Tube. This is Ava, and we are going to have an exciting session this afternoon. If it's afternoon where you are, morning, night, evening, wherever you are, it will be an exciting session. So today I'm actually going to be looking on a popular tool that we always encourage anyone to use, whether you're a freelancer offering this as a service or you're an entrepreneur using this tool in your business. We always talk about Google Drive, and we're going to be looking on Google Docs and some hidden, and I'm going to put hidden in quotation marks, hidden features that can make you more efficient when you are using Google Docs. So give me a one in the chat. Are you all Google Doc users? Give me a one in the chat. Let me know my Google Doc users. Where are my Google Doc users? Everyone is familiar with using Google Docs. It should be something you're using every day. I don't know if there's a day that goes by that I don't open a Google Doc. So we have people who are not using Google Docs. So I hear not yet. All right. So hopefully after today, you will be taking advantage of using Google Docs. So we have mostly ones in the chat. Am I displaying my page? I'm showing the Learning Tube. You should be seeing the Learning Tube group. Are you seeing the Learning Tube group on the screen? Let me know, because that's what's supposed to be showing. All right, great. So we have a couple no's, yes. All right, so mostly yes, but if you're not using Google Docs, today is the day that you need to start using it. All right. So, Patty, you still like Word but use Docs? Oh my gosh, I could not tell when last I opened a Microsoft Word document. I am a Microsoft Word lover myself, but Google Docs has so many features that I find that I'm using it more than Microsoft Word. So hopefully we can convert you over to the Google posse over here, you know? Google Docs and all the other Google Suite offer you so many features that you are not getting from the Microsoft Office suite. So it's good to know how to use both, but definitely there are some great advantages of using Google Suite, especially that it's free. Who doesn't like free, right? And it offers you so many different advantages. All right, so I'm going to head straight into the meat of the matter. Now, if you have never used Google Docs, maybe you don't even know how to access it. So once you have a Gmail email address, you can access Google Docs via Google Drive. So all you would need to do is to go to google.com/drive. Let me share that in the chat for those who have never gone on Google Docs. All right, so let me just share that. Then you would sign in with your regular Gmail email address and password. So once you do that, when you press enter, it's going to take you to sign in, or just, we should say, go to Google Drive. If you are already signed in, it's going to take you straight in like it will do with me. But if you're not, it will ask you for your email address and your password, your Gmail email address and password, and it takes you straight into Google Drive. Now here where we have new, when you click it, here is Google Docs. And we have some other Google Suite applications, but today the star of the show is Google Docs. Now, that's a long way to open Google Docs. Now, one of the features that I'm going to start with, one of the hidden features, you can actually open Google Docs quite easily. Is this the way that most persons open Google Docs? You go into Google Drive first, the ones who are Google Doc users, you go there first, and then go to New, then Docs. Is this how you're opening Google Docs? Let me know in the chat. Is that how you're opening Google Docs? Well, if that's how you're opening it, you need to try this feature that a lot of people are not using. And we're all about saving time here at the Learning Tube. So all you would do, you open a new tab, and I'm just going to type in the URL docs.new. Enter. And there I have my Google Docs. I did not need to go through the long way of going into Google Drive first and then going into New and then going into Docs. So how many people are using that way of opening Google Docs? Have you ever used it? All right, so Mary, have the app on your computer. All right, so you need to be doing this. Wasn't that fast? How many seconds did you save with this particular feature? So you need to be using that. So that's the first thing that we're going to focus on. Opening it, how do you open it fast? Docs.new. Now, bear in mind, if you're not signed in, you would still have to do the sign in process, but it's much faster than signing in, looking for new, going to Google Docs, and all these things. All right. So you want to make sure that you're using the fastest way to get certain things. All right. So, Nancy, you haven't used it, but you will definitely. You want to save time. And some of you may think, well, oh, that's just seconds. All the seconds add up. So you want to make sure that you are not using any time that you don't need to use on unnecessary things. So that's a quick way to get into Google Docs by doing that particular feature. Now, another great thing that Google Docs, and I'm saying this for the Microsoft Word users, has over Microsoft Word is that it auto saves. It auto saves. How many times have my Microsoft Word users been typing a document? The document closes by accident. It did not do its so-called auto recovery because it may not do that, and you have lost everything. So the great thing is that Google Docs automatically saves your file. So let me just type something here and say, hi, this is Ava. Look what's going on right here. Saving. Look at the top where my cursor is. Save to Google Drive. So it's automatically saving. Let me type something else. All right. How are you today? Look what's going on here. Saving. Every type I type, it is saving automatically. So yes, Word does have an autosave option, but sometimes it doesn't work as it should. But Google Drive, Google Docs, I should say, always saves. And sometimes with Microsoft Word, it's up to a point where the fatal error may have occurred and you would lose what you had done after. All right, so Google Docs is always saving. And notice I did not change my file name. So what would happen with this Google Docs? It would automatically save as untitled document, but at least it's saved. So you can just go there and just click in the slot and just type. So I'm just going to call this test and press enter, and it has saved my info. So that's a great feature that Google Docs has. You don't have to waste time saving. You just concentrate on just preparing the document and put everything that you need in it. Now, settings is an area that a lot of persons do not explore when they have opened Google Docs. You just open it and you take whatever it's giving you and say, okay, this is what Google Docs is. This is all it is, and I can't change anything. I can't customize it. But yes, you can customize it. You can set it to do certain things that you want. So we're going to look and see how we do that. So in that, what is it, 5 minutes, we've learned 2 valuable features that Google Docs has already in just 5 minutes. All right. So we barely have touched the surface. All right. Patty, by the end of the session, you'll be fully converted. All right. So in the settings area, so we're going to go to tools, and in the settings area, well, actually preferences. So in the preferences area, this is where we're going to go. So we're going to customize. Now, if you want, each time you type a sentence, you want it to start with a capital letter, you need to make sure that you check that option in settings area, in the preference. So I'm going to take it off so you see what happens. So click OK. So if I type the, notice when I press spacebar, nothing happens. Some persons Google Docs, yours is set up like that, and then you have to go back and type, press the shift and then the capital T. You want to set it up where you have it automatically capitalize the first word in a new sentence. So as I said, I go to tools, preferences, and I would make sure that that's checked. Also, you want to have automatically correct spelling, because what happens when it's not on? So I'm just taking it off and just showing you what you do to put it back on. So I'm going to come here. So if I couldn't spell the learning tubes, I'm spelling the learning tube. Learning tube. Look what's happening right here. Nothing. I have to go back and could just right click and then say, did you mean tube? All right, yes, I meant tube. Yes, that seems simple enough, but guess what? There's a faster way. I can right click and say, did you mean? Yes, I did. But guess what? I didn't have to go through all of that. I could do it simply where my preferences area would be setting away where it would automatically correct certain spellings. I'm going to come back here automatically correct. I'm going to type it in incorrectly again. So AR learning, and I press the space bar. You know how the internet goes, you know. It doesn't want me to be great. But anyway, it was supposed to just change it automatically. It's not doing it for me now because it doesn't want me to be great. But when you do it, it will change it. All right. So it's not registering as yet. But that is the whole autocorrect. You press the space bar, it will automatically fix it how it should be. All right. So make sure that you check out that autocorrect. I'm just erasing that part. All right. So let me just open. I'm just testing something. Open a new Google Doc just to make sure that it's picking up. So AERNING. See, it corrected it. So TBUE. Oh, it didn't know what's going on right there. TEBU is not sure what to do with the two. We're confusing it, but you get the drift of what's going on. So there's an autocorrect feature that you can use to make sure that your spelling as you need it. Now, you know, sometimes you'll get into problems when the different spelling, British as opposed to American as opposed to whatever, but you can deal with that accordingly. All right, so I never knew how to get into Google Docs. Great. So if one thing you've gotten from that session, tell me now. Yes? Do you know how to get into Google Docs? Yes, yes, yes. So we have achieved that one thing. And I never assume that people know this. Even though we talk about a particular tool all the time, sometimes if we don't show things from scratch from the beginning, you know, you take it for granted that people know and they don't. So I always like to take you from the beginning. So does Grammarly work in it? Yes. If you have the Grammarly extension, it should pick up in Google Docs. Notice I said should because, you know, with technology, sometimes it doesn't work as it should. But yes, it should work with Google Docs. I found that it works with it as well. I don't know how to use or add Grammarly. So you wouldn't be adding Grammarly to Doc. What you'll be doing is that you can install the Grammarly extension, Google Chrome extension if you're using Google, and it will do so. So what you can do, you can go to the Chrome Web Store. So I'm going to search and type in Chrome Web Store. I go to Web Store right here. I'm going to type in Grammarly. Press enter, and it should show you the Grammarly extension. Let's see if it's showing us Grammarly. Or if you go to alisalittle.com/Grammarly, that website should also have the extension on it and allow you to get it that way. Grammarly. Am I spelling Grammarly correctly? All right. So here it is on Grammarly, and you can look for the extension on the page itself. So once you install the extension, it will automatically pick up in Google Docs. So let's see now, how do you add a title to the document before saving it? So what happens, Google Docs automatically saves. So whether we are not doing anything, so we can change the title of the document at any time because it's automatically saving it. So it's not a case where we saved it and then we change the title. From once we have the document open and we've typed even one word, like I typed a full stop, notice it says saving here at the top, save to drive. And I can just rename if I want, before or after, it doesn't matter. All right, so here I'm just calling this one practice. So it doesn't matter, it saves automatically. Let me know, Thomas, if I answered that correctly. All right. Okay, great. So let's go back to, and thank you guys for the questions that you are asking. It always helps with the presentation when you ask questions, because at least I know that you're paying attention and you want to learn what's being taught. So we see that we can correct the spelling and we can capitalize words, and we do so in the preferences area, and we find that in tools. All right, so tools allow you to find that. Now in the same tools area, another feature that is definitely time saving in the tools preference area is the substitution feature. Now by default, and default means that those settings are already there, most of these are already in your substitution area. So meaning that if you type the open bracket, letter C, close bracket, and you press the space bar, it's automatically going to change it to the copyright symbol. Notice if you type And let's test it out and see. So you see what I'm talking about. So if I open bracket, C, close bracket, you notice it automatically did that for me. Registered, open bracket, R, close bracket, automatically changed it. So you can have things that you preset in your suggestion area, tools and preferences. So if you know that there is a word that you're always typing, or there's an acronym that you always wanted to spell out what that acronym means, then you can set it up here. Note that sometimes it's case sensitive. So we all know about AI. So I have to use that as an example. So if I type AI, let's say I type AI, let me just try AI in the replace, and then I'm going to say replace it with artificial, in case you didn't know what AI stood for, you know, artificial intelligence. All right. Then I click OK. So what happens anytime I type AI, I'm gonna type it like I had it, it's gonna complete it and type it out for me. All right, so I don't have to type artificial intelligence. I set it the way I wanted it to, and it will just do that for me. So you do that setup if you know that, let's say you're preparing a document and you always have a particular word or phrase or whatever that you wanted to type it all the time, instead of you having to type it, tell the suggestion. So tools, preferences, and in the suggestion area, you actually put it. So can put on phone to always have files with you? Yes, you're saying with the Google Drive app. That's what I'm assuming you're talking about. Yes, Google Drive app. That's the great thing about, thank you, Cindy, for reminding me. This is for the converting the Microsoft Word users. You are mobile with your Google applications, no matter what computer you're using, device you're using. Once you sign into your Google Drive, you can access your documents, your spreadsheets, etc. So you're not limited to the device that you're using. So if you're saved in your Microsoft Word document on the computer, yes, we know you have external storage, etc. But you can access your documents in Google Drive anywhere, any device, doesn't matter. It's not tied to your specific computer, and you don't need to have any external storage to get access to it. So that's another reason to convert. And Google Docs allows you to save, as in download your document as a Microsoft Word file. So if I wanted to save this, as in download it to my computer and open it in Microsoft Word, I could. I just go to File, Download, and I can download it as a Microsoft Word document and use it and continue using it in Microsoft Word. All right. So that's an option too. So we looked at how to open Google Docs easily. We looked at the autosave. We looked at automatically correcting your spelling, capitalizing your words, and substitution. All right, so just a little break. What have you thought about what we've done so far? Like, have you learned anything new based on the comments? Some people learned how to open it. That's the biggest that's the biggest learn right there. How to open it, and of course some of these other features that we've done. So Jennifer says a whole lot, right? And that's in less than half an hour. So sometimes you hear about these tools and you may not be using them, or you may be using them and say, oh, you have not explored the entire tool, so you don't even know everything that it's able to do. So we're all guilty of this. We use some tools every day and we have never gone into some of the features. So definitely explore all your tools. So can you copy and paste a a Word doc on Google Docs? So I have one better for you, Linda. Not just copy paste. You can upload a Microsoft Word document to Google Docs and work on it in Google Docs. Now note that the features, some of them may be different features, so it may not look the same all the time. So I'm going to show you what I'm talking about. So this wasn't planned. I'm going off script, but I will show you that since you asked that question. So first, you remember we access Google Docs through Google Drive. So you would have already been in your Google Drive. So let me go back to my Google Drive. This is where it is. Now in Google Drive, you can upload, because for those who didn't know, Google Drive is a storage area. You can store images, videos, Word documents, spreadsheets, PowerPoint, PDFs, anything. So Google Drive is a storage area, and this storage area allows you applications that you can use, such as Google Docs, Google Sheets, Google Slides, Google Forms, and some other things. So it's a storage area as well. So you go to My Drive and you go to File Upload. And as I said, I hardly use Microsoft Word. So let me see if I can find any Word documents that I can use as an example to upload for you. Let me see. Do I have any Word documents? Just looking for a Word document that I can use so that we can test this out and so that you can see. Because what happens is that when you upload your Word document, you are able to open it with Google Docs. So you're able to make any changes that you need to. So I'm looking for, I was going to look for a Google Doc, but I'm saying I have no idea where it is. So I am Microsoft Word file. Let me see. Looking for a Microsoft Word file. Okay. All right. So I found a Microsoft Word file that I'm opening, and I'm going to save it somewhere that I can upload as a Google Doc. So while that's opening, let me move on. So I'm coming back to that, Linda. Okay. So I'm just allowing it to open, if it will open fast enough, and then I come back to that. All right, let me see the questions in the meantime. Snagit, yes, Snagit is a great tool, Patty. Love Snagit. So if we have more than one Google email account, do we have separate drives for each account, or does Google consolidate everything together? They have them separate. So you do have separate. So Google Drive allows you 15 gigabyte free space. So if you have 3 Gmail accounts, you can have 3 different Google Drives and have access to 3 different 15 gigabyte storage. So I think I have so many Google Drives, I have lost track. I think I have about 10. Back in the day, I think Gmail didn't, well, sometimes they tie your email to a phone number, but if they don't, you can have numerous Gmail accounts. Back in the day, sometimes these things change. So before, you could have multiple Gmail accounts. They have actually limited that somewhat. All right, so you would have several. So here is my document. So I'm going to just do a file save as, so I can find this easily and upload it so you can see how that works. All right, so I'm going to go to my drive, file upload, and I'm looking for it on my desktop. So I am uploading this now to Google Drive. All right, so it's in Google Drive now. So it shows me right here that it's being stored on my Google Drive. So all I would do, I can click on this right here on the bottom right. Notice that I have my cursor, bottom right, and I click it, and it's reading. Notice now, because people see it open on Google Docs, you think it's a Google Doc file, but no, it's a Microsoft Word file that you have opened in Google Docs. That's what's happening right here. Notice it says .docx, so it's not a Google Doc file as yet. You have to actually create it or save it as a Google Doc file. All right, so right now you have opened it in Google Docs, but it's a Microsoft Word file. So if I wanted to change this to a Google Doc file, so I can continue working on it in Google Doc and it will remain a Google Doc file, I go to File, Save as Google Docs. So what's happening now? Even though, yes, it looks the same, it is a Google Doc file now. Notice right here, you do not see it say DocX, which is the extension for a Microsoft Word file. So I can come in and I can change things and edit and everything, and it's saved now on my Google Drive where I can access it anywhere I want. You would be able to work on the file, Myra, you would be able to work on it, but it would not necessarily be saving properly. Sometimes you have issues with it. So I would change it to a Google Doc first before trying to make any changes to it. You put docs in a folder. Yes, you can put the docs in the folder. All right. So that's how we do that particular feature. So another feature that we're going to look at is watermark. Sometimes you have a document or any kind of document that you don't want, it's maybe confidential, or you want to mark it as your own so that persons, if they try to photocopy it, it has your mark on it, or people see it, it has your mark on it. You can easily insert a watermark in Google Docs. You can do that in Microsoft Word as well, no, but the Google Docs allows you that. So let me show you while we're in this particular document here. So you go to insert and you can insert a text watermark or an image watermark. So I come down here to watermark and you see that it shows us I can insert an image or I can insert text. A lot of people just do text. So when I go to text, I can type my text in here and I'm just going to say confidential, confidential. Let me capital C. Notice it coming up, confidential. All right, or you could put anything you want. Notice that it comes up right here. Now, there's a transparency, so you can make it as dark or light as you well. Right now it's on the lightest, but if I wanted it to, well, it's not on the lightest. You can make it lighter till it disappears. So you see that this is the darkest, and you can go. So you can change it to from diagonal to horizontal. I wouldn't use the horizontal necessarily. I like the diagonal because it spreads across more surface area. But that's just one way to do it, and you can click done. Now, don't think that if you try to necessarily undo, notice I'm clicking the undo button, but my confidential is still there. So if you want to take off your watermark, you have to go back to insert watermark and then say remove it. You can't undo or delete your watermark like you'd be deleting text. You have to go back to where you put it and remove it. All right, so that's a great feature that you can try out to mark your documents. So if you're sending documents to other persons to use and you want to make sure everybody knows that this is Bianca's document, you can add that watermark on it and everybody knows that it's your document. They can't just use it as is. Yes, we know you have the copy paste and such, but if the person doesn't know about certain things, we know that where the internet is concerned and digital products, there are so many ways around getting someone's product. If you think about that, you wouldn't create a digital product. So you just have to make sure that you're just doing what you can to brand your products. So that's that particular easy watermark feature. Now this one, so Tina says mind blown. So this one now, it's a feature that a lot of people know, but I could never show hidden, as I said, hidden is in quotation marks. I could never show hidden features of Google Docs without showing this one. Who knows what I'm going to talk about? This is a feature that everybody knows that's in Google Docs, and it's well, it should be known for it, and it's a very popular time-saving data entry feature. What am I talking about? Who knows? It's a feature that's going to save you a whole lot of time using it in Google Docs. Some of you may know the Google Doc users and others may not. All right, so it's actually called, drum roll, voice typing. So for those who can't type fast or you have an audio file that you want to be typed, you can use this particular feature. All right, so I'm not seeing saved as Google Doc on mine, just seeing share and others, but not as saved. So I would actually have to see that because sometimes certain things are set up a little bit different. But what you can do, you can go back to where the doc was saved. So let me show you if you're not seeing the saved as, your document is saved on your Google Drive. So go back to your Google Drive itself. Look for the document. I think mine was called sample something. So I can search. You can search in your Google Drive for a document. I'm going to search for it. Let's see if it finds it. It's loading. And this was the file. So this is the Microsoft Word file you want to search and find. And I will right click and go to open with. And then I will go to Google Docs. All right. So let's see if it's, so tell me now, where you say you don't see, so when you clicked on file, you don't see an option that says save as Google Docs? No? You said mine just says share and others, but not saved. That is strange. That is strange. Not sure why, but maybe close and open again, because I'm using the same kind of Google Docs as you, so you should get that particular option. All right. So Google Voice typing is what we're looking on. So you can actually speak what you want to be typed up. So some persons may not be, as I said, be able to type fast. They speak what they want to be typed. Or you can play an audio and they position it close to your microphone and Google will hear it and produce what is being said. Note that it is sensitive to accent. So if you're not pronouncing your words properly or it's not understanding because of the accent, then you will have problems. Now I have a Jamaican accent and it picks me up quite fine. So let's see. So it's very easy to use. You just go to tools and you go to voice typing. And you have to turn on your mic. So you're going to click your mic to speak. Now, if you have never used your microphone on your computer, Google is going to ask you if it can use your mic. So that's what will happen. See, it's picking me up already. Let me turn it off. So it doesn't ask me about my mic because I've already used it. So let me start from the beginning. Hey everyone, this is the Learning Tube and we are looking on 5 hidden features of Google Docs. Isn't this amazing? Isn't this fun? It's great to learn new things. So notice, by the way, I'm not typing that in case you thought I was actually typing. I type fast, but not that fast. So I'm able to actually speak what I want to be typed, and then I can go through and edit accordingly. Now, who has used that feature? Who has been using that feature? Give me a 2. Have you ever used it? I know that if you have never used it, today you will definitely start using it, right? So definitely it's a feature that you need to take advantage of. Yes, Google Voice typing allows you. There's so many different tools that allow you to do this, but Google Drive is one of them. All right, that allow you to do that. There are a lot of speech typing tools. So where did you find the mic? So one, the mic comes up automatically here as the icon. And when I click it, Google, if I've never used my microphone in Google Docs, it is going to ask me, do you want to use your mic? A notification will come up and then will search on your computer for the mic, meaning if you have an external mic connected, you may have to change to the external one, but I'm using my internal mic that comes with my laptop, so I wouldn't have to look for anything. So it all depends. But Google usually prompts you for adding your mic and camera if you need to. So that's a feature that you can explore. Remember, we're all about what? What's the purpose for doing all these features? What are we trying to do? What are we trying to do? Yes, we're trying to save time. Save time. Be more efficient. These seconds, these minutes add up. You would be surprised how these things add up. So you definitely want to make sure that you are saving time. Now, this feature came in very handy for me when I needed to get the document back to its original version. Some changes were made that should not have been made to the document, and I had to get it back to its original version. So Google Drive, Google Docs actually has a version history. A version history, meaning any changes that you make, it saves up to a point and it allows you to go back to different versions. Where did you turn them? Where did you turn on voice typing? I went to tools and then I went to voice typing. So that's where I went. So I can close it and it goes away. I go to tools, voice typing, and it comes up on the left. So I can actually go back to a version of the document. Let me show you how I go about that. I should have my document open here. So I have this document over here that I prepared earlier so I can demonstrate this for you. So version history, you find that in file. So we go to file and you have version history. We move stuff out the way. And here, see version history. So here it will show you all the changes that were made to a particular document. So you see that at 10:45 my time, this page had nothing. Then at 11:38, you will see that some things were added to the page. All that green means that, yes, that was everything that was on the page that you wanted to keep. And at 12:24 my time, you will see that this part that has a line through it is gone. None of these things exist. So if I want to make sure that if I wanted to go back to this particular version, I could. You notice that voice typing in the 12:24 version, it was removed. Let me go back. This is the arrow. So you notice that this is the version that I have now. This is the current version. But here in file version history, I have 3 other versions that I could use. So this now is the version, current version. So I can stay with that. Or if I want to go back to before I removed these things, I can. So how would I do that? I can simply click on restore version. I can restore it so I can go back to what it was before any change was made. So I can just go restore version. And if I'm confident, I say, yes, restore it. So this document went back to how it was at that particular time. This is not removed and other things aren't removed. Note that when you go back, you can't. Well, let me see if you can go forward. I've never actually tried to go forward. I've never tried to go forward. I really want to go back. All right, so this is the current version. And let's see if you can go back. Yes, you can go back to that version. Good. So I can go back to what it was before we went to that version. May sound a bit confusing, but yeah, it's not. All right, so let's see. Does it save the changed version? So whatever the version is, that's what it is. As in, if I make a change to this version I have now, which is the current version, whatever I'm doing now is saved. But the past version is stuck as it was before this change was made, if you get what I mean. So any previous versions, wherever it was before you made the change, I guess on the current one, those previous ones are not changing. They stay as they are. Only the most current version continues to change. I hope I explained that well. Does Microsoft even have a feature like that? I don't know, but I know Google Docs does. I would have 20 versions of the most of most document with all the edits that I do. Well, guess what? It's always good to just have a backup or a safety net in case you need to go back. That's what we're looking for, a safety net that will allow us to save time. And I knew of this feature, but I never had any need to use it until I shared a document with someone. So this is another feature that some of you may not know Google Docs allows you. You can have collaborations on the same document. So let's say Brooks, Mara, Sarah, Bianca, we're Alan, Patty, we're all being able to use this document. Let me show you how. In fact, I'm going to let everybody jump in on this document. Are you ready? I'm going to share it with you. It's going to be a little bit chaotic, but you'll see what I'm saying. Obviously, if you're doing the sharing, you're not doing the sharing like this, but I'm going to open it up. We're going to dig down in this document. So I'm going to put this in the chat for everyone. And everyone, if you're on the computer now, just jump in here. Do whatever you want. Obviously, you wouldn't do that on a regular document. But I just want to show you what's going to happen here at the top. Look at the top here. Look here. Look how many people are in this document now. Look at the top right where my cursor is. Everybody's jumping. People typing hi, Ava, all over the place. Oh my gosh. So that's a benefit that Microsoft Word does not have. You're not able, if you're using Microsoft Word on your computer, to be working on the document at the same time. You'd be doing an email. Hey, I've emailed you the current version. Can you look at it and make some changes? And then what the person would do, make changes and then save it and then email it back to you. And then blah, 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 blah. No, nobody has time for that. You have the one document that you can work on together. Obviously, you would work in a what you call it there, an orderly fashion. You would know what section you're to work on and so on. But no, I'm just showing you this as chaos, but you get the drift. Obviously, you wouldn't have it shared like this. Everybody would have their own section that they would work on and such. All right, but I'm just using this document for your purposes. Let's have fun in it. I'm not using this document. There's no way I would share a document that I'm going to be using here, meaning on the session, because I wouldn't want you to be making changes to it. All right. So yeah, so see, people say this is crazy, just testing the feature. You know, this would be a great way too. I love this. How are you doing? You're awesome and full of wisdom. Thank you. Love your work. Good to connect. Busy but quickly working. Hi, Ava, very neat. You see? So you see what you're actually typing? I did a session one time showing, I don't think it was on a learning tool, but I talked about how you can actually use Google Docs as like a secret messaging area. For instance, let's say Bianca. Bianca, I'm gonna share. Let me see if you can access it. I'm not sure if you'll be able to access it. If you can't, then you can't work on this with me. But let's see. I'm gonna share a document just with her. All right, so test. Let me see. Test. And I'm gonna share it with Patty. Let's see if Bianca and Patty can open it. So I'm just sharing it with them. All right. So I'm going to share it with, I'm going to share it privately to you. So you may have to copy the link to be able to use it. All right. I'm going to share it privately with them, and you're going to have to copy the link to use it. If you're not sure how to do that, then we can't work on it together. But let's see. So I'm sending it to you privately, Bianca. So I sent it to you, and I sent it to Patty. Try and see. If you're not able to, I'm going to send it to Tina too, in case Tina can use it. I'm going to send it to Kristen. I'm going to send it to Patty. Oops. Oh, Kristen left. So I'm going to send it to Patty. Let's see if you're able to copy the link. So if I send it to you privately, you may not be able to actually click on the link, but you may be able to copy it and paste it in the web browser here in the address area. So I don't see anyone in there yet. Let me know if you're able to. Let me check back. Let me see. The reason I had to share it with them personally, I just want them alone to be able to do it, to have a little control. But I don't see them in the doc yet. So did you have? Yes. How do you create the link? Okay, I'll show you that. All right. So I see them in there. Great. So look what we're gonna do now. I'm gonna type first, guys. So nobody type yet. I see 2 people in there. Not sure who. Okay. So Patty not able to access. All right. That's okay. Bianca, let me send the link again. I don't know who's in there now. Tell me who is in there. I see 2 people. Who is it? Sometimes it doesn't show your actual name. So Tina, you're in, and Bianca. Good, Bianca wrote her name. Okay, Patty, you're on your phone, so you definitely have more problems. All right, look what we're gonna do now. We're gonna do secret messaging. Now watch the cursor, because you'll see where my cursor is at the top. I'm gonna say hi guys. So this is our secret area, right? Bianca, Tina, and myself, we're using this to send private messages that we don't want anyone to know. So hi guys. So I type hi guys. Bianca answer. Bianca, you answer. And Patty, you'll see where Bianca is, not Patty, Tina, you'll see where Bianca is typing, and then you can answer below that. You usually see the color of the cursor for someone, so you know that not to type there. All right? All right, so hi. So I'm going to type no. I'm going to type something no, and I'm going to say, this is cool. No one will, put the L, no one will find our secret message area. If I wanted to send messages to them, and we don't want anybody to know that we're sending a message, we can share this Google Doc between ourselves, and nobody would think we're sending, having instant messaging going on in Google Docs, right? So it's a bit, tedious to do that. But I'm just saying, if you really, really want to hide something, that's the way to do it. So, all right. So that's just one cool way that you can use Google Docs just to do some, message thing. This is dangerous, right? All right. So just having a little fun there. Let's jump back in. So we looked at version history, which is very important if you need to go back to a particular area that you are at. So as I was telling you, I had to use this when I was working on a document when someone else, and you know what they did? They completely erased all that I had added to the document and added their own thing. So I said, oh my gosh, do I need to retype this? And I said, oh, Remember version history? So what I did, I backed up their version because I still needed to have their information, but I needed mine as well. So I restored to what my document had with my info, and then I just pasted their info and added it to it. All right. Let's see. Okay. How would you blank out sensitive info on an email? That would only be able to do, as far as I know, in an actual document itself. In the document itself. So I don't know how you would do it if you're sending the info in an actual email, if you want to black out the information. But let's say like you're doing that here. I don't know if you've seen people send documents and they have a certain part like you can't really see it. Some people don't know that you can easily do that by just going to the highlight color and turning it to black. So nobody sees what's there. So I think email should have that option to maybe do a highlight. You can check it out. And if they don't know that they won't be able to see anything. All right. So you can check if the email has that feature. I'm not sure, but let's see. Let's check it out because there's another thing I want to show you. You know, we're going on through all these hidden features. There's a feature that's called building block in Google Docs that just allows you to put in like a template of something. Now, when you've opened your Google Docs, who has noticed that it says click, it says at to insert? Have you ever noticed? Let me show you what I'm talking about. Right now, it doesn't have anything. Thanks, guys, for participating. So we're going to come out of this now. So let me go into a new file so you can see what I'm talking about. Notice what it says. Type. Who has ever done this? It's actually telling you something that you can do. Patty, not that I know of. I haven't checked that. Who has actually typed at to insert? It's actually telling you that you can type at to insert. So we're going to type the at sign. You usually find it over the number 2. Look what happens. You're able to insert an email. You can insert stuff, templates. For instance, let's look at this. You can insert that template and add stuff to it. So let's say there's a certain part in your document that you'd want to have a template like this. You're able to do that. So you can check that out, that you're able to do that. So let me just check something. Let me see. All right. I'm just making sure that I'm not in a particular area. Just opening another Google. Remember I said I have so many Google Drives. I just want to make sure that I'm in a particular drive. So I'm just doing that. My screen is paused. That's why you're not seeing what's going on. Just wanted to get in. All right, so opening back our Google Doc. Okay, so as it says, type that. So let me type the at again. So you see, press shift and your number 2. So I can actually insert other stuff into here and go through. All right. So there's an email draft. This is what I'm showing you. Who had asked me about that? Mary. So there's an email draft section, right? So you can put that in. I've never tested this to see about the whole blackout thing, but let's try. So here you can put who you're sending it to. So let me send it to myself. All right. Subject is gonna be test. Then here, hi guys. This is a test to see if the black, or we actually said block, but because I'm actually blacking it, so feature can work in Gmail. I don't want you to see this. So this is what I don't want them to see, this. So I'm going to select this. And then I have my highlight, turn it to black. All right. So this is the cool feature now. Let me see if it's going to allow me to. So this, you see it says preview in Gmail. So what will happen is that whatever Gmail account I have opened now or that I have signed in, I can click it. So it's going to click this and it's going to automatically open my Gmail. So let's see if it went over with the black. Yes, it did. It went over with the black part, you see? Because I wasn't sure if I'm able to do it in Gmail if it had that feature. Does it? I don't think it has a highlight feature. You can change the text and all that. So did you see that, Mary? So in Google Docs, I use the at, and then I said I'm inserting an email draft. So I use the features that Google Drive allows me to do in Google Docs, and then I just transported that into Gmail so that it's set up the way I want it. So you can check that out and see if it works. So you can actually send it to yourself. So you can put your email here just to test it out, send it to yourself to see if you got it as this without the part here. But notice this notice when I did select it, it's showing me, but they're not gonna highlight it, are they? I don't know. Or when they get it, will they see it just a solid color, or will they see the word this? Test it out. Test it out, okay? In fact, I'm just gonna send this to myself now and see what happens. So that's the thing with technology, trial and error. You don't know until you try. All right, so definitely test that out. So far as we said, recapping so far, we looked at how to open a new Google Doc easily, auto-save, automatically correct spelling and have a capital letter, substitution where you wanted to have another something typed out fully or however you want. When you type in something and you press your space bar, it changes to whatever you want. We looked at the building blocks is what I just looked at right there. Watermark, voice typing, version history. Woo! Are you guys tired? Was that a lot so far? Do you want more? Do you want more? Give me a 3 if you want some more. 3 if you want some more. 3 if you want more. All right. Okay, so Linda, how did I get the link to share? Very easy. Now, once you have saved your Google Doc has to be saved. So let me just save this as Linda. So then I go to share right here on the top right. Then what happens? Google Drive is asking me, how do you want to share it? Do you want to share it where only people with the link can access? That's restricted. Click the drop down arrow. Do you want to share it where anyone with the link can access but be a viewer or a commenter or an editor? So you can decide. So a viewer can only, as a self-explanatory view, they can only look at the file, they can't make any changes. You are able to do comments in Google Docs, and edit means you can make changes to the file. So you can choose whichever one you want, and then you click on, so I'm going to choose viewer for this one so you guys can test it, and then I click on copy the link, and then I can paste it wherever in an email. I'm going to just paste it here for everybody in an email or wherever I can paste it. So that's how I got the link. So that's how you can share a Google Doc with other people to view it or work on it. You can share via a link. So right now, you guys can be in there, but you can't type anything. You can't do anything because I've shared it for you just to view. You can only view. You can't do anything. All right? That's it. Okay, so we're going to look at 2 final things now, where since Linda talked about link, we are able to manipulate this link. Thank you for leading me into this area, Linda. We can manipulate the link. So when I say manipulate the link, we can make a change to the link and share it how we want. Now notice that when I shared this with you originally, aren't you guys seeing here? You're seeing all these toolbars and all these stuff, right? Yes? You're seeing all these stuff when you open it, yes? You should. But suppose you want to share it in a way where no one is seeing these things. You want to share it in a way that it's just a nice page with the information that you want persons to see. You want it to look neat. You don't want to have all these toolbars and tools and buttons all over the place. So there's a way you can do this quite easily. Now watch closely. Here is the link in my addressed area. Notice it says docs dot blah 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 blah. This is where you want to focus on. Anywhere you see the word edit, you are going to erase the word edit or whatever else came before it. So if this was edit blah 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 blah, you would erase everything that came before it. So we'd erase all of this, but you erase right down to the word edit. Now, once you do that, if you put the word preview in its place, and I'm going to copy this link and share it with you, tell me if you notice a difference with how this document looks now when you click on my new link. Click on my new link. Does it look different? Click on it and see. So I'm going to go on it myself. Notice that it looks different? What do you notice? What's the difference with this link and how it looked over here? What's the difference? It's clean, right? You don't see all that messy. You look professional if you're sharing this with a client or a prospective client and you want to share some information with them, a contract that you just want them to view the contents, not edit or do anything, just see what's there. You can show them this easily without them having to see all the mumbo jumbo. Yes, no toolbar. All right, Tina. Okay, so I saw a question. So can I save a doc with a new file name so I can make changes for a client? Yes, you can make a copy of that document. So you would make a copy of it that you would want to give to the client. So let's say the document here I had with Linda. I had this for Linda, but I want something from here, but make changes to it. So I go to File, make a copy. I can change the name. So I can call it maybe New Linda and then leave it where it's saved and click make a copy. So I have a duplicate now. I have my original one, which is for me to use however I wish. And I have the one now I'm going to give to my new client where I can make any change to it that I want. All right, so hopefully that helps. We do that all the time, make copies so that we can just change as we wish. All right. Now, another way that you can manipulate the link, I'm sure you've all gotten documents in the view and you want to make a copy, but you don't know how to. A document can actually be shared with you in a way that it forces you to make a copy. This is actually called the forced copy feature. So I'm going to do the same thing. Wherever you see edit, click in the address bar and remove all the way up to the /. Do not take out the /. You need it. It's important. And now I'm going to just type in copy. I'm going to copy this whole thing and I'm going to paste it for you and tell me what happens now. What happened to you now? So you'll notice that it looks like this. It's saying make a copy. So what this does now, you now can make a copy of my document that I shared with you and it will be saved on your Google Drive. Your Google Drive. So that's how you easily make a copy, or I should say share a document with somebody so that they can make a copy. So let's say you're saving or you're sharing like a lead magnet, a document that has a newsletter or whatever, some freebie. You're sharing it with persons like this on a live that you're having to promote your business about whatever. If you share the link with them like this, they'll be forced to make a copy and they can save this on their own Google Drive quite easily. All right, so that's a simple way. All right, so I got a message to okay, because oh yeah, what I did, I didn't have that link that I shared with you. I didn't open the link, so I'd have to make sure that it's an open link. So let me do that. It's restricted, that's why that happened. Sorry about that. All right, so let's make it an open link. All right, so I'm gonna move the link over here, paste it. See all this now, sharing, equal, erase all of that, right up to edit, take out edit, and then let me share it with you again. So remember when I showed you that if it's restricted, you can't access it if you don't have the permission. So try that one now. That should get you in. That should get you in. All right. That one should work now. Let me know. Does it? It should. Okay, great. So it will make a copy and you can save it on your Google Drive. Okay. So what I did, I made sure that I created a link where persons could be a viewer. So notice, as I said, I go to share, Then I change here from restricted to anyone with the link, and I change it to viewer. And then now what I did an extra step. I copied the link. I pasted it somewhere where I can edit it, because you don't get the copy automatically. No, you have to add it. So I just pasted it in a new tab so I could manipulate the link, take out everything right up to edit, make sure that the slash stays, and then I typed in copy, the word copy, then I copied the link and pasted it where I wanted. All right. Remember, you can watch these all over in the replay again if you're not catching it. That's the great thing about having a replay. So the last thing that we're going to look at, the last feature. Now, did you know that Google Docs acts as a translator? You can translate your document to another language. Did you know that? Who knew that? You can translate to another language. So let me see. Let's use what we had right here. Wow, all these things here, right? So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna translate it to another language. Simple, simple. So I'm gonna go to Tools, and it says Translate Documents. I am going to choose the language that I want. Let's say Spanish. So let's choose Spanish. I can just type in Spanish and get there faster. It's going to ask translated copy. It's going to open a new title, which is what we want, and translate. Look what happens at the blink of an eye. I have a new document all in Spanish. Here we see me encanto esto. Let's see what that means. That was in English. I love this. Any Spanish speakers here to let us know if this is the correct thing in Spanish? All right, so here we have just testing the feature. So let's see what the English version was. The Spanish version, just testing the feature. Solo probando esta I'm not even going to try. And believe me, I did Spanish in school, but I didn't do well at the oral. I don't have a Spanish accent. All right, so guys, thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed this session about just learning some of the hidden features that Google Docs has to offer. I'm sure a lot of you use this. For those Google Doc users, you say you use this sometimes, and for those who have not used it, I hope I have converted you into a Google Doc user. So hopefully starting today, you'll be exploring some more features that Google Docs has. Any tool that you use, try to explore the different features, because trust me, up to last week, I have a tool that I have had for 5 years, and I learned 2 weeks ago a feature that it could use that was so time saving, and I was going to pay to buy a tool that could do that, and I didn't know my existing tool already had it. So explore what your tools have so that you can maximize the use of it. And I'm always a firm believer in having more than one tool that can do a particular feature. So Patty, even though I've converted you, have your Microsoft Word as a backup, or have your Google Docs as a backup. And for those who know about Open Office, that's another tool that allows you to have a word processor. Have backup tools, because anything can happen to your main tool. Okay, so thank you guys for joining me on this session, and check out the replay when it's posted in the group and sent out via email. All right, guys, so glad you enjoyed the session, and take care and have a great rest of the day, evening, night, morning. Bye, guys.